Good morning, I'm Nina, and this morning I like to work on my budget. It's not the end of the month, but we have most of our expenses in, and we pay most of our expenses, and I like to go through my budget and I like to invite you along. It is very important if you have not started a year to work on your budget. You need to know how much you bring in every month and how much you spend. By tracking your expenses, you know how you can improve your spending, how you can decrease your expenses. But by not tracking them, it will be hard for you to have a plan. So it's very important every month you list how much you earn, and then you list how much you spend. Try to have all your expenses, rent or mortgage, your utilities. Those are some were fixed expenses. I like to call them fixed expenses. Even your food, your groceries, try to make a fixed expense. Set a budget for it. For us, it's 375. For we take 375 out because it's very valuable expense. I like to take it out 375. It became fixed for us, and within that 275 we can spend less or more. We only spend more when we have some saved. So when I take 275 out, if I don't spend it all, I'll keep the rest in an envelope, and the month that we go over, we have that to spend. So have a budget for every single one of your expenses. And then if you have credit card, list the minimum as a fixed expense as well, and have a variable section where you list your extra that pay toward your mortgage or your credit cards or other debts that you are trying to pay off. But know how much you are paying toward your expenses so that you know how you can decrease them, or which one you need to work on to decrease, so that you have some saved from your income that you can now take, invest, and while you are sleeping, your money is working for you. It's not how much you are making, but it's how much you keep that will help you build wealth. So let's start working on my budget here. We have paper budget that we use, and it makes it easy for my husband to access the document, enter the expenses that he pays, and then I like to take that and fill up my spreadsheet. So we have our spreadsheet here, and I'm trying to fill up the December month. And as you can see, my budget does not change. I have a fixed budget, that's the one in green. Even though my expenses change, I just make sure that my expenses are within my budget. And I like to track all the costs throughout the year so that I know how much everything is total to by the end of the year. And I have, because we try to live on one income, I have a spreadsheet just for that income where I track all the expenses for that income, and then I will transfer that to the main spreadsheet. So that's the spreadsheet for that income, and that's where we use, that's the income we use to pay for all our expenses. And here my husband did the work by filling up the paper budget that I have here, but I like to transfer everything to the bigger spreadsheet that I have in my computer. So we have the mortgage, we pay $931.55. We'll come back on that. Cable internet, he pays $77.99. And he already have it there as well. Phone, $17.24. That's correct, that's what he has down. Trash, $19. We have that. utility and gas, we like to budget 160 for it, but then when we pay it, we'll put the exact amount. And here he paid 81.43, so I'm going to change that amount to 81.43. And for electricity and water, he paid 136.40. We changed that one already. Then we have car gas. Car gas, he took 55 out as well. We took cash out and we just left it in the car so that he can use it toward gas. And bus tickets, we didn't spend anything there. And the next is the food, 275. We took that out. After food, we have charity, we have $70. Let me see what he used. $70, yes. And then we have allowances for CC. So everything total to $892.06. So that's what our expenses are for the month of December. $892.06. And this income, don't know if we put the income here. We did, and I don't think that income is up to date, so I like to put the income on the main spreadsheet. We don't live from paycheck to paycheck. The way, let me explain that, is we live on last month paycheck, so that income is correct. He get paid twice, my husband get paid twice, and that's the income that he got paid in November. We save it for December. So when we get paid, because my husband get paid twice, we live on the smallest income between both of us. He gets paid twice, so we'll put his income in the saving, and at the end of the month we'll move the amount we need for our expenses in the checking. And as you can see, out of $2,000, $57 that he earned, we only spent $892. So the rest he paid toward the credit card that he's trying to pay off. So he has, that's the minimum for the credit card, and that's the remaining amount out of his income. And he used that to pay the credit card as well. So here, because when we are doing the budget, we just put the amount that he need to pay the credit card amount, which was $254, and then he paid credit card extra $799.22. So now that he paid it, I can add it here. So $799.22. So that brings his balance to $0. And if you're interested in this spreadsheet, you can let me know and I will attach it. I'll leave it on my website and put the link in the description. So in December, we have the income on top, and we are not doing any saving at this point that he's trying to pay off his credit card debt. And we have all those options that will be deducted from the income, and the bottom is the balance. And as you can see, our living expenses on one income was $1,340, but then we decrease it because of the credit card debt that we are trying to pay off. We decrease it to $1,064. That's the budget that we are working on. That's our fixed monthly budget. But out of that $1,064, for the month of December, we only spend $892.06. And keep in mind that that 1,064 does not include credit card debt. It's just our living expense. So now that I put in all the expenses with our living expenses on that income, I'll come back to my master spreadsheet where I have, once again, our incomes here, our both incomes here. And as you can see, that's his income on top and mine at the bottom, and that total to 5,344 for this month. And we have 383.60 that we intend to save. I had to adjust that. So now we will check our expenses here. We have the mortgage, and the reason why we have the mortgage here is because we use the second income to pay our mortgage. And the way we do it, we have businesses and we stop investing in our personal brokerage account and all that, so that we can pay off our debt. So we lower our investments and we invest in our businesses as little as possible so that we can focus on paying off our mortgage. So we spend about $500 a month toward our businesses, and then everything else out of that income goes toward the mortgage. So now, as you can see, that's our minimum mortgage for the month of December, and this session will track just the fees expenses, and that will be the minimum due on everything. And I have all those expenses I talked about earlier here as well, but I track them on a spreadsheet, and that will be sent here. And if I don't have a good my formula here, I will adjust it right now and see if it's working properly. Cable 77, that is correct. Phone 17 is correct. 19 for trash. Utilities, gas 81 is now correct. So gas, electricity, gas, utilities, why is now pulling the right? Let's check it here. I see. That one was now. Let me see if I can move it from here. Yeah, that will work. So I can. Okay, so gas is correct. Utility 136, car gas 55, bus ticket 19,375 for groceries, charity 70cc, and credit cards. So the credit cards here that he paid the minimum is $254. So as you can see, our total expenses for December, including our minimum mortgage and our $892 living expenses and the minimum credit card, total to $2,077. We brought in $5,334 and our expenses total to $2,077. That's how we decrease our expenses so that we can live within our income. And the green is our fixed budget, and we budget our expenses including the minimum mortgage and the minimum credit card to be $2,266. Even though we budget to be $2,200, we spend $2,077. So we spend well within our budget. Not more than the budget, but less than the budget. But we have the budget to make sure that we have enough income coming in to pay for our expenses, and we trim our expenses so that we don't spend all our income, but we budget loosely in a way that our expenses really fall between that budget, and we work hard to decrease it each time we can. So now at the bottom we have, so I call the top, the 2077 is our fixed expenses, and the extra that we pay toward the mortgage is 1845. So we pay less because we don't have emergency fund, and then we needed to do some repair in the house that costs plumber and drywall fee we needed to pay. So we put 500 on this side for that. So we pay the rest of one income toward the mortgage, and extra expenses from saving. We'll check on that later. We have credit cards here, and the credit card he pays $799.22. So in extra we pay $2,644.90. Our total cost is $4,722, and we put $150 toward our business this month. You will see we put investment there, and $150, and we have a balance of $845. In our saving, we put $350 out of the $500 that came from the second income that we wanted to put on the side for the drywall and plumber. We put $350 in the saving for that expense, and we put $150 toward the business, one of our business, and then $10 bus tickets. Don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but bus tickets is $0. Because I take bus during summer, we budget for it and we save for it all the year. I take bus in winter, so to buy the winter tickets, which cost about $70 or $50, we budget for it and save for it all the year, so $10 a month. But we don't spend it, so we put $10 in the saving, and then $23.60 came from the saving from the gas. As you can see, we budget $160 here for gas, utility gas, but we end up paying $81. No, I don't think that's that one. That's electricity and water. Electricity and water, we budget $160 and we end up spending $136.40. The difference between $160 and $136.40 is $23.60. So we put that in the saving. We'll do the same thing with the gas as well. We pay $81 there when we budget $160. We'll put the difference in the saving. So that's why we have $383 there. So we'll pay for the plumber. Let me charge my camera here and we will continue. I have the receipts for the plumber, and I will be able to put it in as well. And I believe I have the receipt for the drywall specialist. I will go look for that. And I will be back. And this is the drywall receipt, $175. So I'm going to put that in it. And the bottom section is for irregular expenses. We like to save for our regular expenses. We don't save for emergencies. We don't have 3 to 6 months of our income in emergencies. I'm not a big believer of that. So what I like to do is budget for my irregular expenses and save for it every month. So we have 383 that we put in our saving this month, but as you can see here, I have expenses to save for, and within that we have home maintenance. We budget $1,000 a year for that, and each time you have an expense that falls under that category, I will put it down. And in December we have $175 from the drywall, and we have the plumber fee as well. So pretty much a pipe broke in the wall, and they had to open the wall in pretty much our entryway to access the pipe and replace it. So after the plumber worked, we called the drywall specialist to come and fix the wall. So that cost us $175 for the drywall and $119.56 for the plumber. That's why it's important to save for those expenses. If you have a house, use 1% of the value of the house to save for a year to cover house maintenance. You never know what we'll want it to fix. $294 is what it costs us, and this amount, and we have contact solution of $63. We pay that at the end of the year as well. For my husband, he used contact solution, and we like to use his annual discounts to pay that, so we have enough that can last him months. So that's $358 that we spent that will come out of our saving because we save for it, and that amount will show up somewhere on our main budget where I have expenses from saving. And that should show up here. Let me see why I'm not seeing it there. H53. Well, it should be H54. And let's see it again to see if we capture the amount. 358 is the amount, and that will show up there, 358. So in our variable section, we have mortgage extra, expenses from saving, and credit card extra. So those three total to $3,003, and you can see that our total cost is $5,080.71, and we have a balance of $487. So that's how I do my budget, and I will check my bank later to see why I have $400 left. I will have expected to spend everything, but I can check my mortgage here. I believe the mortgage that I pay in December, as you can see, $1,800 is what I pay in extra, and the minimum was 931. So that income, pretty much 500 was taken out of it toward business and home maintenance. So one income went toward business, home maintenance, and mortgage, and the other income pay off our living expenses, and the extra went toward credit card payments. So chances are I won't have 487 left. It will be just because I'm counting the saving here from the our expenses to save for. I put it here and I have it down, and it's showing up in the expenses category, so it's counting it twice somewhere. But rather than that, our balance should be towards zero. So that's how we do our budget, and I'll invite you to do the same thing. You need to track your expenses so that you have a better control over your money and over your debts. Your debts cannot control you. You are the one in charge. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi, marie-ninette Liberman, and I just go by Nina. Visit us on our website at www.ninasoap.com, and thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. Send your comments our way, send your question our way, and together let's work toward our financial independence, our financial success. We cannot build wealth without improving, without controlling our expenses, and start investing. Thank you.